a very special Big Brother Week 11 or 12 weekly recap show with Bronte. We have so much to get to, but let me let you guys know first, if you want to see any of these shows back, like our first post-season interview with Bronte, that's at yourrealityrecaps.com/BB18. Our spoilers are at /BB18 spoilers. Flashbacks are at /BB18 flashbacks, or you get 24/7 live feed updates at BB18 feed updates on Twitter. Last two things to let you guys know, we want live feed updaters for Big Brother Over the Top. So fill out the form at yourrealityrecaps.com/BB8 BBOT updates. I'm losing it today, everybody. And lastly, yourrealityrecaps.com/patron if you want access to weekly patron-only shows, prize giveaways just for patrons, questions asked to reality stars, and the patron-only Facebook group. I'm gonna shut up now, because I know you all want Bronte. So here she is, it's Bronte!
Hello, everyone! I'm so happy to be back. Eric, you're so entertaining. Oh my gosh, I'm like listening to you, like you go.
Oh, Bronte, I am glad. I am glad you were having fun. Look, everybody has been like, where's Bronte? Bring Bronte back. We want Bronte back.
Yay, I love you. This is the funnest one I've done. I'm not gonna lie. It's so fun.
Oh, thank you. I would say tell Nicole postseason, but you know. I don't know. Yeah. We have so much to talk about this week. So everyone, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to try and go through the week kind of quickly, just so we get the main points out. Then chat room, I will take your questions again for Bronte at the end. And we'll also do spoilers at the end. Yeah. To kick it off, or I'll just say, here's our little quick rundown of the week. Victor was HOH, the noms were James and Natalie, your fellow spy girl, and Corey ended up winning POV. But let's start at the beginning, and that bird smashing Baldwin egg challenge. Bronte, what did you think about it, and was it one that you would have wanted to play in?
I would have wanted to play in any of these, to be honest with you. Like, literally so desperate to have played in these. That was the best part I had. The funnest I had on Big Brother was playing in those damn competitions, even though in the moment you want to puke everywhere. But yeah, I think I don't know if I could have beat Victor, but I think it would have been stinking fun to try.
Natalie was right there with Victor. Natalie was giving Victor a run for his money that whole competition.
She kind of did that for a lot of the competitions lately. She hasn't been doing poorly at all. She's been doing really well, which kind of led to her eviction, unfortunately.
It did. Did you watch it play out on the feeds? Were you watching how Natalie did it?
No, I didn't watch on the feeds, but I was like tuning in. Sometimes it's so stressful. I can't. It's like one of these situations, like. Right. Okay, what's going on? So that's kind of how it's been, because I knew Natalie was going to be in trouble. So that's how I was doing it, with the whole, like, okay, what's happening? I can't handle it. So
the one funny part that they didn't show on the show, which I realize, and the chat room knows, Bronte can't see me, but the she rolled the egg down, and then when it would get to the end, she would try and like bounce it a little, but every time she tried to bounce it, she smashed the egg. Like she was just smashing the egg with that catapult. And I was like, Natalie, no.
Change tactics, girl. She needed to change tactics a long time ago in numerous situations, and she didn't. So.
Well, she did not, and that led to Victor smashing Nicole into the ground when he bear hugged her, winning that HOH. He picked her up, and he was like carrying her off. It's like, Victor, where are you going?
Their relationship is a little weird.
Oh, good. Let's talk about it, Bronte. A lot of people think that Victor has a crush on Nicole.
Yeah, it seems that way. And Corey is really not confrontational. He's a very chill guy. He's not the type who's going to get in a bar fight because some guy hit on his girlfriend. And so Nicole has even spoken out, like, if I flirt too much with Corey, Victor seems to get jealous. And I'm like, aren't you in a showmance with Corey? You guys have obviously done some things in the house. So it's weird. I don't know where this flirtation is coming from. It's just like, okay, one big love fest, I guess.
Do you think it's real, or do you think that Victor could be doing it for strategy?
I don't know. I'm not saying that Victor wouldn't have a crush on Nicole. You know, she's a great, amazing, she's pretty and she's smart, but I don't necessarily see Victor like begging to have a relationship with Nicole after the show. We'll just say that.
A lot of people in the chat room are saying they wonder if it'd be different if people hit on Corey's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe.
Corey.
Oh, Corey.
I can't wait for Corey to come out of the house and find out Tallywhacker's closed. Since he talked about it so much in the house, he's going to be devastated.
Oh,
just
my
saying.
God.
Maybe.
Probably.
It's weird that they closed while Corey was away out of town. I'm just saying. I don't know what kept them open. These opinions reflect me only and not Bronte at all. So, Bronte, were you surprised with Victor's nominations this week and him putting up James and Natalie?
No, I am not surprised at all. Paul and Victor are kind of just, they're flip-flops. They're all over the place. I'm not surprised. It was sad. It was the sad situation because what was best for Natalie for really the past couple weeks was not best for Victor. And it was not best for James.
Right.
There's so many names. I still can't get them all straight.
Oh, I hear you.
But they're just, James bonded with Nicole and Corey really off the bat. Natalie bonded with Paul and Victor off the bat, and there was so much conflict between what was good that Natalie, all her bridges got burned. So I wasn't surprised. Vic was still pissed at Natalie for putting him up, and Paul was pissed at Natalie, and Natalie kind of got all the blame.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to talk a lot about blame and Natalie and James's relationship in a few minutes. I will say I appreciated Victor putting them up and the way he did it. He was definitely direct with them, explained to them why. He didn't have like malintent, I feel like, the way other HOHs kind of did. There was no scheming or plan or plotting. It was just to the point.
He definitely redeemed himself from throwing the beads at Zakiya and Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he figured out that was a weird move on his behalf, and he's like, oh, I'll handle myself a little bit better this HOH.
Yeah, a little bit better. Now, let me ask you this, because we know, or we've already said, Corey is going to win the POV, and we have a lot to talk about that POV, but let me just ask right now, I know a lot of people in the chat room want to know, if you were in the house this week, and now we know the nominees are Natalie and James, but knowing everything, they're even willing to let you know everything that you know right now. Are you going to vote out James, or are you gonna vote out Natalie?
Oh, I would have voted out James.
Yeah.
I'm definitely I'm a ride or die type of girl, and I think I would have tried to get Natalie to see that James's game was not her game. They just, she needed to stick with her guns and stay with Paul and Victor and go after Nicole and Corey if that's what she felt in her gut. So I would have tried to get that ball rolling, but I would have had to say, bye, James, peace, adios.
We can all hope, but stick around to the spoilers section, everyone. People's true colors will be coming out, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of true colors, you might have missed also on the feeds this week, another big moment was when Nicole lost it because Corey said, I see your true colors, Nicole.
Oh, yeah. Nicole's very sensitive.
Yeah.
A lot of girls this season were sensitive chicas. I mean, and that's why showmances aren't the best idea, because you're literally in such it can be a toxic environment and you're so emotional, and then you add love and hormones and all of that, and you just, and I think Nicole is kind of a sensitive person to begin with. So as she did, I watched it on live feed, she just broke down. And then Corey was concerned about how that looked to America, as everyone in the house is, apparently. And yeah, it was just a train wreck. It was fun to watch.
The best part for me of that conversation was the creepy way Corey whispered. Like, she's hysterical. If you guys missed it, Nicole's hysterical crying, and Corey just goes, "You're making us look really bad."
As if we couldn't hear him.
I don't, there's microphones, sweetheart.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what a lot of people are concerned with is how they look this season and how they're being portrayed to America. But yeah, she definitely had, even last night on the episodes, the catch up, Nicole seemed to have a rough week. It's hard being safe so long in the Big Brother house. All that safety catches up to you. You just have breakdowns.
Oh yeah, hysterical crying. Not at all like a play for America's Favorite Player. And we're gonna get there. Let me ask you this though first, because you mentioned hormones. Rumors are swirling that Nicole, which I am showing a picture of Will's version of Nicole at the moment. That is not the actual Nicole. I know it's confusing everyone. Nicole, the rumors are flying that she might be pregnant out of her own mouth. Now, Bronte, I don't know the way lady parts work. I'm going to be honest. Is there a chance that you think she could actually be pregnant, or could this be a possibility for a woman to not have her friend visit for so long?
It is a total possibility. I was even when I got the house, I was this is weird to tell America this, but my mom's an ER nurse. I can talk about this
Right,
stuff.
sure. Medical.
Yeah, medical stuff.
We're like ER.
Yes, right now I am Nurse DeQuisto to all of you.
Perfect.
I'm not a nurse. Please don't put that on the live on anything. But the stress can postpone your monthly period. So even after I left the house, it took me another month. So I went 2.5 months without having my period because it was stressful. It's totally possible. She's gone longer than that. And, obviously we all know what her and Corey did under the covers. I don't know. Big Brother provides you with safe sex options.
Right.
And, it might make people nervous to go get one because you feel like it's going to be a red alert. Live feeders are seeing you grab a condom and then everyone's watching. So you think you're being sneaky by not getting one. I definitely am not for unprotected sex. I don't believe in it. I think you should always obviously use a condom. That is my opinion. I don't think it's a smart move no matter what, but who knows? I mean, I guess you could say it's in God's hands now.
Well, Good luck. I just want to know if I get to be McSteamy in this scenario. No, I love how the chat room is saying Bronte is teaching Eric about the birds and the bees, and I'm apparently turning red. It's what we do. We're educational here too. Don't say we never helped any of you out. I used to love on previous seasons, people, they would get so bored in the house, they would start reading the packaging to the live feeders. So they would take out the dental dams or whatever, and they would just start reading the back of the package. That was always such a funny moment for me. I think Nicole is not pregnant, but I would not put it past her to baby trap somebody.
She's made it known she's definitely looking for husbands and family, or a husband and kids, and I don't know if that's what Corey's looking for. And that kind of seemed to be the thing with Hayden too, is that Hayden wasn't necessarily looking for that. And Corey has a lot of famous friends. A lot of his friends are professional baseball players, and he definitely has seen people in the limelight before. So I think he knows what's waiting for him. A lot of girls. And so I don't know if Corey is going to want to have a long distance relationship with Nicole. She might get heartbroken. And it's sad to watch, but it's reality. Don't try to find your future, it works out for some people, but usually you don't go looking for your lifelong soulmate on reality TV. It's not necessarily the best idea, unless you're Jeff and Jordan or, Rachel Riley. It worked out for them, but that's a small percent.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, I don't know if you saw on the feeds earlier in the season, or maybe it was even only maybe 2 weeks ago, Victor and Corey were out in the backyard in the hot tub, and Corey said all of that. He said, I have no plans to date Nicole when this show is over. I am single and ready to mingle.
And I mean, you never know. He might just have wanted Victor to think that for some reason. But
I agree.
Knowing, I kind of talked a lot. Corey likes girls and partying, not in a bad way, but that's just who he is. He likes to have fun. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the truth. But, maybe maybe they're in love. Love?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I agree with you. I thought the same thing, too. I actually defended Corey on that and was saying he might just be trying to make that bro-dude connection with Victor in the hot tub to be like, oh, bitch, whatever. But, I mean, no, we really don't know what's going to happen between them. But what I find interesting is Nicole has said to Corey on the feed several times, I'm not taking you to Final 2. And Corey just is fine with that for some reason. She's been like, I don't think I can beat you in Final 2. I'd do better against, like, James. And there's no joke. There's no punchline of like, oh, Corey, I'm just kidding. Like, no, she's serious. And he's like, okay, great.
Yeah, she really wants to win. I mean, every time I see her name in the live feeds, it's her talking about what is best for her game. Right. If I was her alliance member, I would be a little bit annoyed. Like, can we make it an us thing or pretend to make it an us thing? Just lie to my face if you have to, but can we pretend it's you and I? But she's constantly, that's what I need. This is what's going to get me there. This is what I want to be able to say in my Final 2 speech. So, Corey just, I don't know, maybe he doesn't care to win so much. He just is along for the ride. Who knows? But it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, or if I was Nicole, how do I put this nicely? If I was Nicole, I would want to pick for my ride or die, maybe the person with the least common sense would be a great person to attach myself to, who is probably stronger than me and could win some competitions to help me.
Yeah. And, too, almost the entire jury is made up of females. So I think if she's looking to just be the only girl, so she can say, reach out to, let's have a woman win this year. She definitely painted a pretty picture for herself because she helped get all the girls out of the house.
Right.
So.
Well, there's so much I want to say about jury. So let's get this, POV over with. Although, wait, before we get the POV over with, what did you think of Unbelievable Harry Potter, Unbelievable Harry Potter, Corey sleep talking about his Harry Potter love?
I don't know. Corey has some quirky moments, that one. He's pretty sterile sometimes. But that's hopefully for Nicole, he is.
Hopefully he is.
But he has these quirky moments. And so I guess the dude likes Harry Potter. He should go to the theme park. They have one now.
I know, but who would go to that when you're so close to Disney instead?
Yeah, I'd much rather. I grew up in San Diego, so Disneyland holds true to my heart.
Good answer, Bronte. I was going to ask, this would ruin our whole relationship, right? I was going to ask you Universal or Disney?
Oh, Disney,
okay,
for sure.
Duh. So we saw this HOH challenge, which was kind of like a promo for the MacGyver show, where they had to go into these rooms, they had to solve the puzzles, and there was definitely a little bit of controversy around it. People were like, oh, the times, and Corey on the show, he went right into the room, and it seemed like he knew to go right to that pipe, and he didn't. Like, what were your thoughts when you were watching this competition?
My first thought was, dang it, because as a fellow spy girl, I think that would have been my favorite competition. I'm not saying I would have won it. I just would have had a lot of fun. But yeah, I didn't really notice it until I read someone had pointed it out that he did. It seemed, what it appeared to be is that he walked straight through the door, and there was no edit showing him walking from the door straight to the pole to get the pole out. So
here's what I think of it. Like, honestly, here's what I think of it. Corey's was kind of like the second to last person to go. I think a lot of people forgot that what happens right before they go in that door is they're telling exactly what they told to Natalie. Like, put your earpiece in, we're going to give you directions, you're going to go into this room, and there are things in the room to solve the puzzle. So I don't know, for me, it made sense that Corey would, like, open the door, there's nothing else in the room but pipes that are all rusted and brown, and then there's, like, one shiny black one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not really buying into the whole, oh, it's this big secret or whatever. I think sometimes people just luck out, and Corey got some dumb luck.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't play in many competitions, but the ones I did play, production never had a hand in,
Obviously, yeah.
especially too if you stood a chance of winning. There were times, I was doing so poorly, they were like, okay, girl, like you're basically done in the roadkills.
Right.
But that's it. Like I was losing anyway, so.
Right, exactly. I don't think that they did. And I mean, if people are going to say that they did, then I have my own conspiracy theory, which I'm showing pictures for. So everyone, I want to let you know something. When you saw the people come into the HOH room and their clothes were all ripped and they were all covered in like black all over their face because of the explosion, there was no explosion. That production rigged the fake explosion, is what I'm saying, Bronte. That was not a real explosion, Bronte. That was fake.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I really think it was.
No, it was fake. Fake
How
explosion.
else would you get coal on your face? How else would your clothes get ripped?
Exactly. I loved how they had to pick the little plutonium things up with the clamps. Like, don't touch it with your hands. Okay.
That entire competition, I literally think I went into a mode or a state of depression of like an hour from that competition or after it. Because that would have been what I wanted to play. Like, I'm so obsessed with anything spy and secret. And I was so sad, but I don't think that it was rigged. Like, it was just an edit that looked a certain way,
Right. I mean, yeah, 100%. I think I did find one clue. Again, Bronte, I know you can't see, but I'm showing the chat room this picture where clearly there is this large, like, lump on Corey's back as he is bending over to, like, look around. I'm convinced that is an alien controlling Corey. There is some sort of an alien attached to his body, which he is trying to hide. It was unsuccessful, and it is the way he is controlled via production. Corey is a robot. You heard it here first. There you go, everyone. Fact. Well, that is true and a fact. So coming out of this POV, which of course Natalie won it right off the bat. I was surprised she didn't give a shout out to Spy Girls. I agree with you. That was a very Spy Girls challenge. I thought she would have done more of a Spy Girls shout out on that. Mm-hmm. And everybody else lost except for Corey, who took it home and won POV.
Yes.
Which then seems to kind of sort of be the downfall, let's say, of James and Natalie in this week. Now, they tanked. Now, I know a lot of people want to get your opinions and your thoughts of what you were feeling watching this all play out. I don't think we need to explain what happened. I mean, everybody knows Natalie and James, had these arguments during this week where it was about their relationship and game and are they trusting each other and what are they going to do? And basically Natalie saying, James, I put them up because of your advice and now I'm going home. So what are your thoughts on the way the James and Natalie situation played out this week?
I think Natalie got really bitter and she just couldn't let it go. It's so hard. Even me sometimes, I'll wake up thinking like, I should have said this or I should have done that. And it's been so long. It's been over a month. I think she just couldn't get past the fact that it was a situation she saw coming and she was mad. I think she was more mad at herself that she let James take control and now she was the one going home for it. And she just took it out on James. But it seemed like they got it together towards the end. But I think it was just bitterness. She just kind of let bitterness take over and she acted out. And James was more of it is what it is, let's move past it. That's his mentality. Whereas girls can hold on to things a little bit more and fuel.
Yeah, I mean, or I would say James knows what it's like to win America's favorite player and thought it was better to play the victim during the week and puppy love after. I mean, how many times does Natalie have to say, I'm just not that into you, James. Can you give me some space before he backs off? I would get pissed off too. if somebody was following me around 24/7 when I'm like, I get you've done this experience before, James. I haven't. Can I just have like 5 minutes alone? But I think in James's mind, he's like, this is our last week together. This is the last week I'm going to get filmed as a couple. This is the last week I'm going to be in a Showmance. I need this for America's Player. I need people to see that I love you.
Yeah, I'm definitely over everyone bringing up America's favorite player. I hate when I get on the live feeds and I see it. You know, the thing is America's favorite player. So they're going to vote based off how you played, not, you know, so stop trying to paint yourself in a picture. And I think, you know, obviously we can see that you're talking about it all the time. So, I mean, I feel it was one of those things that edit made James look like a victim. You felt bad for him. But I see why Natalie was frustrated. You know, she gave James, she played James's game for a really long time. And it's just that, you know, it's not a good idea. You're there for yourself to win $500,000 for yourself. If you and James had the same things going for you, then fine, but you didn't. Like, you guys were on opposite sides of the house.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that holds true for like the past week and a half to 2 weeks. I think up until about the last 2 weeks, their games together did benefit each other. But then again, I'm saying games, and what was it really? Laying in bed most of the time. James, anyway. Natalie really came to life in the targeting of, you know, Frank, of Victor, of like going after that other side of the house. James was just kind of like, oh, I guess I'll go along with your plan now. So I feel like Natalie was definitely the more strategic player of the two of them, which is why I don't really love, how that edit played out last night.
Yeah, and I think James, it kind of, you know, he knew that because there's this thing about, you know, you play the game, but you also have friends. And James had made, you know, he was friends with Nicole and Corey. And that's why he's here. He's still in the house right now, because he legitimately had a friendship. And I think he knew that. At the end of the day, I'm literally friends with these people. And he even said, that's why I felt comfortable following Natalie around all the time, because I knew I had built these strong bonds with the people who are running the house. And Natalie didn't have those bonds.
Right. Yeah. I think, I feel bad for Natalie. Like, I personally wish James would have been the one to go this week. As we all know, Natalie was the one who ended up being voted out this week, despite the fact that Victor started out the week saying James is my target. But it just ended up, for some reason, Corey felt Natalie was being too bratty. Nicole felt threatened to go, surprise, by Natalie. And they were going to do it anyway. So I only wish Victor would have stuck his ground to find out before, maybe today when we get to spoiler section, that Nicole and Corey really don't care what him and Paul think.
And that's been Victor's downfall this entire time. He can win competitions, but, like, he's really not that good at strategy. He just believes what people tell him. He trusts people. Whereas Paul is on the other side of that, and he's overly paranoid. So you have these two opposites, and that's why they keep getting in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but smart on Victor for knowing that he's not good in that area and says Paul is my social game.
Yeah.
I'll win stuff, and James, why do I keep saying James? And Paul can play my social game. David Thielen in the chat room says, who was your #1 fan last show, says Victor is not good at reading people. And no, he's not.
No, he is not. I think, you know, he's kind of a toss-up. As far as people taking him to the final two, you know, I feel like he could easily win because he's been evicted and got back in the house so many times, and he can easily not get any votes because he's been evicted and got back in the house so many times. Right. So he's kind of a toss-up. I personally, please do not hate me, America, I personally might find it difficult to hand Victor $500,000 when he's been gone and back so many times. Not saying that he shouldn't have tried, because obviously I tried in my battle back. If they give you an opportunity, you take it. Right. But once you're a jury member, if someone's standing next to Victor, I'd be like, hey, I didn't get evicted twice and,
Yeah.
have to fight my way back in. I deserve the money. So
I think, and I have said this for the past, since Victor has been in the house, I have said he should be walking around with a megaphone going, "You want me sitting next to you in Final 2. You win." He should at least be trying to convince everybody of that. Now, I agree with you. I would not give the win to Victor because of exactly what you just said. However, I think he could make an argument that could persuade a lot of the jury. Like saying, I just played into this season's twist. How is it any different than the twin twist? Or, and that was what we were dealt this season, and I bested what we were dealt. Not once or twice, but whatever. So I could see him making that argument, and it depends also who he's sitting next to. But I think he could win. But yet I agree with you. I would not award that over a Paul, let's say.
Yeah. I definitely agree. It would be, I always ask myself, like, if I was still in the house, what would I feel with Victor? Like, bringing him along, because I think I could beat him. I feel like I kind of would feel, I'm going to bring him along. Because his game was so different from anyone else's, I could easily win, versus bringing someone who was, Nicole and Corey kind of played very similar. James kind of played very similar to those two. I'd be like, we played similar games. Our speeches will be the same. Whereas I'm either going to bluntly lose to Victor or bluntly win against him. So I feel like I would take Victor with me.
Okay,
I'd get rid of Paul, though. Paul needs to go.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think Paul could beat anybody in there, honestly, with the jury. And I want to talk a little bit about jury, but I want to ask you this, because I do know a lot of people asking this in the chat room. Let's play this game super quick. Okay, so you are in the jury, Bronte.
Okay.
Victor is on the block next to, let's start with Paul. Who are you voting to win?
Paul. If I don't know all the crap Paul's talked about me, because I'm in jury house, so I vote for Paul.
Okay. What about Victor and Nicole?
Victor.
I would too. Victor and Corey?
Corey.
And Victor and James?
James.
See, I would have went Victor all those other times too.
I just, it is hard. I think I might actually vote, I don't know. It's hard because Victor is good at competitions, but Big Brother is more than competitions. It's your social game too. Right. And having had a poor social game myself, I had a bad one. I've learned to really appreciate people who had good ones. That's where I'm coming from.
Right.
So, because that's a very difficult part of the game, is not getting targeted. And Victor was targeted so many times, and he kept getting back in with this only card he had, a competition. I'm bummed that Nicole got all the girls out. I was the biggest girl power, let's rally together. And so I'm kind of bitter, but I probably would vote almost everyone over Victor.
Wow. Yeah.
But I think Victor kind of deserves AFP. I would vote for Victor and rally for Victor to get America's favorite player. Because that's kind of, the America's favorite player goes to someone who fought and didn't didn't get down on their luck. And that was Victor. He had the best attitude. He kept getting up when people were pushing him down.
Right. So, I like how people in the chat room were like, Eric just loves Victor, so that doesn't count. You're correct. Love Victor. He cooks and he cleans and he's good looking.
Yes, I would not be mad if Victor won. By no means will I be like, he doesn't deserve to win. No. I don't know if I would vote for him, but at the same time, I would be happy if he won. I wouldn't be bitter about it at all.
And see, and where I'm coming from is like, I agree with what you're saying 100% about you say he leaves the game and comes back, and I couldn't give him the win over, and I'm sure this is me being prejudiced or whatever, but I couldn't give him the win over someone I felt played the game. But I would not want to give him the win over a Nicole, a Corey, or a James. I just wouldn't. I don't feel they've done anything this season.
I understand that, yeah.
So that's why I like, it's so hard for me to give either of those three a win. But luckily, I don't have to make that choice. I don't have to worry about it.
They've laid low, all three of them. It was been like, whatever you guys want to do. When Nicole has spoken up, it's been her always just saying how she's kind of a victim. This whole, well, I didn't make friends with these people because they didn't like me. Where it's like, no, that's kind of an excuse, of why you didn't bond with anyone because they didn't like you. I think there were specific people who targeted Nicole, but
right.
I didn't find that every girl in the house hated Nicole. I didn't hate Nicole. I had a lot of conversations with her. So I don't know why she thinks all the girls dislike her.
Okay, so let me bring up this point now. Skippy Lane says, what are you talking about, Eric? Nicole's playing a great game. Even Devon says she is. Okay, this is what I would... Oh my god. So, last night, we saw our jury house, just showing the people the pictures for a sec. So the jury house, we have found out that Zakiya and Paulie are a couple again. We're going to get there in a second. And that Devon is pissed over the whole thing. But let's start with Devon says, oh, my girl Nicole, oh, she's doing good in that game. Everyone, Devon has Stockholm Syndrome. Jason will screw her head back on when she gets out of the house, and then Devon will be right back here to take back all of those words. You have to remember, they're going off the limited information that they're getting in jury. I have a feeling if Victor or Paul end up in that jury, Devon's gonna feel way different.
I think so too, and I definitely feel though Nicole kind of is a little puppet master when it comes to Corey. I think Nicole's calling more of the shots.
Oh, 100%. Nicole, I'm not at all saying Nicole didn't win an HOH. Nicole didn't maneuver stuff to happen. My problem with Nicole is I don't believe any of it is actually a strategic plan. She just kind of like accidentally stumbles into what she should do because has anxiety about something. Like the whole reason she didn't trust James was because she heard James say, oh, Natalie wanted Victor to stay. That was enough to turn Nicole's whole game upside down.
Yeah, and the reason Natalie kind of ended up turning back and wanting Corey out of the house was because of Paul. Paul was the one who was like, Natalie, Corey said these horrible things about you. And she's like, oh my God, get Corey out. So all of this it was all jumbled. And yeah, I think you're right. Nicole gets frantic so fast.
She does. She seems to go from like 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds. So I don't feel like there's any serious strategic moves that I see Nicole making. Now, yes, there are moments where she says some great strategic things, but they're so few and far between. We'll get to that when we get to the spoilers section. Let me ask you what you think of finding out that Zakiya and Paulie are making it work again, Bronte.
I was not surprised. There was no part of me that thought that they were not going to make it. There was no part of me that thought that they were not going to get back together in that jury house. I was not surprised. I was just waiting for it. I knew I was like maybe 48 hours. Zakiya really likes Paulie.
Right.
And I was like, if after everything that happened in the house with what Natalie had told her, if she still went back, I mean, literally went and crawled under the sheets with Paulie after finding all that out, of course she's going to do it again in the jury house, Right. I'm glad Devon said something about it, and it's like, oh, if we don't exist, whatever, I don't know if it's going to work in the real world though.
I would love, legit for real, the only reason I would ever want to go on Big Brother is if I somehow was raising money for mental health issues. And I know people think I'm making a joke, and I'm seriously being serious. That is something that is very, near and dear to my heart. And I really hope that Zakiya comes out of this house and does go to therapy. And I'm not saying that to be mean to her or anything. I feel like she puts all of her self-worth in who she's dating and or thinks she needs that to be a fulfilled person. And I feel bad for her in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, she talked a lot on, I'm sure the live feeders know, we talk a lot about relationships. So she had talked a lot about these terrible ex-boyfriends that she's had. And, I think you're right. I was raised by a dad who wanted he kind of wanted a son. He got 3 daughters, but he raised us to be very like,
right.
We didn't need you. So that's my attitude. I don't need a boy. And unfortunately that wasn't hers. It is sad. I don't know if it's going to end well for them. Especially for her heart when she gets out of the house.
I don't think it's going to end well for her, and I just hope that somebody, like, there are people in her family that are close to her that will help her. My point was, I would love to make a little fund of like, okay, here's 10 free psychology visits that we can give to the people we feel that need it the most at the end of the season, because I feel bad for some of these people. But so we also saw Jeff and Jordan. I'm not a Jeff and Jordan fan. Do you like Jeff and Jordan? Are you Jeff and Jordan fans?
I met Jeff and he was very nice to me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I like, they're a cute couple. They're going to have a pretty baby. And I've never met Jordan, but Jeff he was very kind to me.
Yeah, I like Jordan. I like Jeff. I just feel it almost was like the emphasis on what I feel a lot of this season has been about. It just emphasized like showmances, and it's the season of showmances, and people aren't playing the game. Let's bring on another showmance having a baby. This isn't Bachelor or whatever. No. Like, it's supposed to be about the game.
I've said that multiple times. I signed up for Big Brother, not the Bachelorette, like not Bachelor. It's been all about showmances, and it's sad because I do think there were game moves that were made based off showmance and jealousy. And it was like they wouldn't have made those decisions if it wasn't just cattiness.
Right.
And so I'm like, what would have happened if it was just, the normal one showmance over here? It could have been a lot different.
Right. Well, I think that that does sum up the week for this week. We did see it end where it was the slip and slide challenge was the end of this episode. So now I'm gonna say this. If you guys don't want to know spoilers, pull out your headphones for, 5 or 10 minutes and then put them back in, because then we'll take questions for Bronte at the end. So pull out your headphones if you don't want to know what happened. Okay, Bronte, do you want to know what happened?
I know what happened.
Okay. So, Corey wins HOH. And I feel like that is no big surprise. Of course he's going to win HOH. The people that are the tallest, that have the longest legs, are the ones that are able to do the best in those competitions.
He was literally had laps on people. He was on his 3rd lap and people weren't even done with their 1st one. I mean, he was just like gliding along.
Right. He did so well. I was surprised for the people that went, I think Nicole went for the big scooper.
Yeah.
So there's part of me that thinks, was Paul throwing it? Do you think that Paul was throwing that competition?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely saw Paul was kind of with James. So I didn't, I saw James. I didn't expect him to do well. I thought Paul would do really well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he did. He's not very smart for doing that.
He is not very smart for doing that, because as I am putting up, even though it has not happened yet, I'm horrible at putting it out into the world. I've already updated all of the banners and things on our website. I am saying the nominees are Victor and Paul, because Nicole and Corey did kind of figure out if they put James and any other combo of the other 2 people up, if either of them win, which there's a real good chance they will, Nicole goes on the block, and then there's a chance she goes out.
Mm-hmm. I think that this, I think this is probably the smartest game move Nicole and Corey have made this entire season.
Right.
breaking that duo up.
Yeah, I think that's where I was saying before when I said there have been strategic things that I have been like, okay, Nicole, you are making a good move here. And last night, we can talk a little bit about the controversy, but one of the other things that was said last night first was Nicole was laying out for Corey the exact perfect thing that Corey should be saying, which was basically that. I don't want to put Nicole in jeopardy. I think if you guys were in this position, you would do the same thing. Hey, we're still going after James. Don't worry. Just one of us has to win, and then James goes up, and then they can have a nice, peaceful week. Maybe not have a bitter jury members, but Corey wanted no part of that conversation. He was like, la 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 la, not hearing you. And I was like, Nicole's actually making good sense here, Corey. So I didn't understand why Corey was doing that. Then we also heard a lot of people on Twitter were getting upset because Nicole said, I'm just trying to give him something to work with.
Yeah.
Again, everyone, this is my opinion. I don't know that you should speak on. I will let you, Bronte. Just you choose your words carefully. You know what you're not allowed to say. But I'll say this. I'll say this first. I think what Nicole was doing in that moment was playing for America's favorite player. It wasn't production. She wanted America to know, I like James.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I obviously wasn't in the house that long. Production doesn't meddle with these things, the conspiracy, whatever. It doesn't happen. I do think, though, it was more of a perception of how she was maybe hoping, if I say this, then production will probably maybe put it in the episode, and that's what I want, or something along those lines.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, I think that Nicole wants to win this game, and everything that she's saying is for her game benefit. And I think that part of Corey is just like, let me do it myself, and that's where he's coming from. Let me come up with my own speech, even if Nicole had a better idea.
Right, exactly. I didn't even think of that aspect. So yes, I would agree. That probably is why Corey is acting like that. But bottom line, everyone, I have done shows every day, just trying to tell everyone you're all crazy with your conspiracy theories. But we didn't touch on that one yet because it's breaking news from last night, and I was like, no, that's just Nicole making sure she looks like it's not my fault James will go on the block if that happens. You're going to use that scene, right, everyone? All right, let's get to some questions that fans want to know from you, Bronte. We have one from Bruce, which you kind of answered a little bit already. Bruce, one of your big fans, who says, do you think that the Spy Girls, together as a team, would have rocked that MacGyver veto competition since it was an undercover spy comp?
I hope so. That would have been the one that I was like, yes, I won this. Like, I am the ultimate spy. The CIA is going to call me as soon as I get out of this house. I hope that one of us, me or Bridget, would have won. I stinking hope so. It was like made for us. Dang it.
Greek Diva in the chat room wants to know, Bronte, would you ever vote for Nicole to win this game?
I think that I would. I think right now it's hard because she just sent Natalie home, and even today there was something on the live feeds where Corey and Nicole's coffee tasted funny. And they were convinced that Nicole had done something or that Nicole and Corey were convinced Natalie did something to their coffee before she was evicted. I was just like, really? Did she? And if she did, it was a prank. You guys have been pulling pranks all summer. Like, let's be real here. So I think right now I'm a little bit bitter because of that. She just sent all the girls out, my last girl, Nat. But I think I would vote for her in certain situations. I would, yes.
Wesley Lester wants to know, let's talk about people leaving the game and doing stuff. How did you feel about the way Michelle left the game, taking, oh my God, I want to say Paulie, taking Baldwin and, why can't I remember what his name is? What is the duck?
Paul's pelican?
Yeah, why don't I remember? It's, oh my God. It's the Pablo. Thank you. I'm like, Pablo. I know it's a P. Okay, Pablo. So what did you think of Michelle taking Pablo? And as we saw in the feeds, other house guest items as well.
So the other house guest items, I know I would have been livid if she took anything of mine. I'd been like, girl, you've got 10 seconds to hand that back. Pablo, I would expect nothing less from Michelle than to take Pablo. She was a super fan, and she knows what's going to get attention, and she's quirky that way. And so I expected her to take Pablo because I wasn't surprised because she knew that was going to blow up on social media. And if I was an audience member and she threw Pablo at me, I would have been like, woohoo! I wouldn't have been, I'm not mad she took Pablo. It's Michelle. What do you expect from Michelle? She's going to take Pablo, especially because her and Paul hate each other. Mm-hmm. So of course she's going to take Paul's pelican Pablo and throw it into the audience.
She said, I believe, to Entertainment Weekly that her original plan was to take her earring off and pop it on the stage.
I think people would have been livid.
Oh, I think people are livid.
Because, I'm like, at least Pablo is alive. To kill Pablo, I mean, he could be auctioned off to raise money for something. That's what I would think. We could have auctioned that to raise money for a hospital. So why just pointlessly destroy it? That would have made me think less of her. She would have absolutely destroyed it. At least Pablo is still alive.
Sure. And 5 Pablos are hopefully on their way here. So, to give away to fans, speaking obviously on behalf of myself, I think my problem in that moment with Michelle what my problem has been with Michelle this whole game, is that she's very immature. I just feel like she did it to hurt Paul. It was just about I didn't get my way, I'm taking something you like, and ha ha ha, and it's just I don't tolerate immature attitudes well.
Well, that's what I mean when I say you expect nothing less from Michelle. That is Michelle to a T. You would say the smallest thing and she would be livid. One time she was lifting weights out in the backyard and didn't have shoes on. And in a very respectful way, I mentioned maybe you should put shoes on. And she was just not happy that I had said that. So it's Michelle. That's Michelle.
Oh, good luck she didn't have you tell people to get you fired like she did for Bridget. I don't know. Everything in me says avoid Michelle. I'm afraid to interview her. Oh. I like my car tires. I don't want more death threats. I'm afraid. I don't want the Michelle wrath pointed in this direction.
No, I talked to her. I talked to Michelle literally maybe a grand total of 10 minutes. I tried to talk to Michelle. We just couldn't carry a conversation for the life of us. Couldn't do it.
I am not surprised. Mojo 18 wants to know, so at this point, Bronte, who are you rooting for?
It's so hard. None of these people were really my alliance members. At this point, I just think whoever wins was meant to win. It's a mix of strategy and a lot of luck. There's a lot of luck that goes into this game. When your butt's on the line and you happen to get an HOH that you're going to be good at, So I just think at this point, out of the people left, whoever wins, it worked out in your favor. You were meant to win, and that's that. I'll be happy for you.
So nobody that you're hoping for more than somebody else?
It's hard not to make things personal. There's people that I'm like, you can go because I'm sick of reading you on the live feeds. That's for sure.
Okay, so do. I'm guessing you mean Paul.
Yeah, I'm over Paul and his live feeds. I'm over just the crap talking. I'm just done with it.
Now, you said that earlier, and the chat room wants to know, is that something that you want to, speak more on? I have not seen this, so I'm really kind of in the dark as to what Paul has been saying. But do you want to talk about what he's been saying?
And, not just towards me. I think Paul kind of talks he makes things very personal.
Right.
That's how he got Natalie to really start flipping the coin when she was originally going to get Paul out of the house. He made it very personal and said, Corey said these things about you, Natalie, and they were very personal, hurtful things, and he knew it would hurt Natalie's feelings. Mm-hmm. I get that it's a game, and it's working brilliantly for Paul up until this point, but as someone just sitting back and reading it, I'm just kind of over the personal crap talking about almost every single person in the house. People who've been long gone, not just me, you know. It just, I'm going to sit back in the safari room and give my 2 cents about everyone's personal lives as if I'm some type of doctor who knows, Mm-hmm. He said Zakiya hates all women. I don't think that's true. Jose has family issues from growing up. It's just stuff that I'm like, you don't really know what you're talking about. Just keep your mouth shut, buddy. Right. Take that beard and shove it in your mouth and then just be quiet.
He does need to shave that beard off. I can't with the beard. I'm with you there on the beard. I'm gonna agree 100% on the beard. I see a lot of people love and kindness in the chat room. I apologize. Like, you have so many people here. It is flying. I apologize. There definitely were other people asking the same question, and I'm not sure why. Have you met Becky from BB17 yet?
I totally did. I went and watched I think it was Michelle's live Eviction with Becky at her house, and she is the kindest. Mm-hmm. She is so sweet. We have a lot in common. She gave me just a lot of advice. It's hard being out of the house and hearing what people have said about you or people have said about your friends. So She's like, girl, take your time. It takes a lot of us a long time to kind of get over having our feelings hurt. But with that said, she gave me some great advice. I love Becky. And even, I don't want to look like I'm being butthurt. It's something I'm annoyed with reading Paul on the live feeds. But I think that Paul is playing a great game. Once again, if he won, I wouldn't be bitter about it. I would be happy for him.
I think none of us understand what it is like to be somebody who plays the game. And if there's one thing I would like... what our website and what we advocate is that you don't judge people on things they've done in the game. Like, us as viewers don't judge people on things they've done in the game, outside of the game. Now, I know for you guys that doesn't apply because you all played that game together and they're talking about all of you. So I 100% understand why it is more personal. We just want you all to get along. And I say there'll be Christmas miracles, and I'm saying you're all best friends by Christmas.
I think we will be. And my thing, even though I think that strategically it's good for Nicole to try to get Paul out of the house because I think he has a great chance of winning. Mm-hmm. But I would never think Paul doesn't deserve to win because he said something mean about me or Natalie. Not at all. I just don't want to read about it anymore on the live feeds. That's all.
Got you. Yes. Vanessa Capricia wants to know, would you ever do any reality TV show again?
So I fell in love, like I mentioned earlier, with the competitions. I want to do Wipeout because it's like one big crazy BB competition. So anyone casting for Wipeout out there, call me. I would love to do Wipeout.
I actually do know that person. So
yeah,
that's
call me. I would love to do it.
That's but yeah.
I don't know of any other reality TV I might go on. I don't think BB would call me back. I wasn't on very long. And I don't think I'd go on The Bachelor or Bachelorette or whatever. Mm-hmm. As we can see, I'm not into the love situation.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you there. Sunny Skype actually has a good question in the chat room. Let's take it back and make it about your game for a minute. They want to know, Tiffany shared a bedroom with the Spy Girls. Yes. Why didn't you guys try and incorporate Tiffany more into the Spy Girls alliance?
I get that question a lot. We did. We had a conversation with Tiffany, Bridget and I especially, of this little hey, we really are looking for a girl to win Big Brother. Are you about girl power? And so we definitely had a conversation with Tiffany. We reached out to Tiffany, and within a couple hours, it had gotten back around to us. So we knew Tiffany had went and told her alliance that me, Bridget, and Natalie were trying to work with her. And so we just squashed it very quickly but we totally extended that olive branch without a doubt. She just ended it very fast. And nothing against Tiffany. You know, we were 3 girls, and at that time she was in a very big alliance. So I don't blame, Tiffany for not accepting it, but we had tried. Trust me.
Right. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I take it with a grain of salt because it's coming from the chat room. Apparently, Bronte, I have bad news. Wipeout has been canceled.
No. How long has it been canceled?
I don't know. I'm just seeing people saying it's been canceled. But what about American Ninja Warrior?
Oh, I don't know if I have what it takes to do that. That's like some legit, what? I can try.
But that, I would imagine, is what you would have to do in the CIA.
I would think so. I'm more of the math nerd in the bottom of the basement of the CIA that no one sees, and I'm just like, yeah, not this one. Even though I aspire to be this one, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm more of like the glasses just...
Okay, now that leads me to my own serious question from me hosting. Bronte, what are you going to be for Halloween?
I was originally going to be a pixel. I convinced me and all my friends to be pixels, but I kind of don't know. BB is a lot. It's like constantly something that's being ingested in me. So I might be like, okay, enough of Big Brother for a split second. But I probably will end up doing it. And I think all of you should do it with me. We should all be pixels.
Oh, okay. Let's all be pixels. Oh, I am embarrassed for both of us, Bronte. Apparently, it was canceled in 2014.
What? I probably just watched reruns because I know I've watched it since then. So I just watched reruns thinking it's the same thing. Well, I should just start my own Wipeout, bring it back to life. I just can create my own. Because I'm determined. I'm going on Wipeout. Nothing will stop me. I'll just start my own production.
I am all about that. You know people that produce shows. Lone Wolf Bella wants to know, are you going to watch Big Brother Over the Top?
Oh, the Axis one? Yeah. I honestly can't. I don't know. I don't really watch the live feeds. I do live feed updates. Only because it is so emotional because especially when Natalie was still in that house. This was my friend and people are talking bad and I can't do anything about it. You kind of get in a panic attack mode.
Right.
So I probably will. I definitely want to, it meant a lot to me when past cast members reached out and even just said hello.
Right.
I was watching you. Hello. It was very kind. So I met some cast members that were not nice to me and it hurt. It kind of hurt. And so I want to be that for everyone coming up, So I will definitely be involved with it. I don't know if I'd watch every last episode, just because it's not just on TV where I can, but I will definitely read about the cast as people are evicted, reach out to them. So I don't know if it'll be as religious as maybe one that's in the summer.
I think just Wednesday nights. Like, Wednesday night is, I think, the live eviction show. And you get a vote. I hear we all are getting a vote this go-round. So that will be exciting as a viewer. I honestly feel bad. Well, okay, this is going to seem really mean, but I'm going to admit it to you, Bronte. Okay. I feel bad for people like you and the people whose gameplay that I liked, that there's a fall season starting so quickly after. I feel like it does steal some of, your guys' limelight. However, if Nicole or James wins, take the limelight away.
I'm interested to see what the cast thinks when they come out. Like, who's going to tell them? Is production going to sit them down and tell them? Are they going to tell them on stage? Like, I just wonder what they're going to think, And I wonder if there's going to be some past players in this. There's been rumors that it might be, they need it to be an all-star season because no one's going to watch it otherwise. So I'm interested to see who's going to be on it.
I would be floored if it was an all-star season, but all I want, and if I have a genie wish, or if I could in advance use my birthday wish for next year, please have the camera on James's face when they announce it. I want them. Here's what I want Julie Chen to do. I want her to walk out and go, Everyone, there is no America's Favorite Player this year. Sorry, James and Nicole. Oh, and by the way, the new season of Big Brother starts in 10 minutes. And then just put the camera on James and Nicole and so watch their faces go. Cry. I want to watch their souls cry. No, I'm sorry. My opinions and only my opinions. Okay, let's ask we have 4 more questions. We're going to take 4 more questions. They're kind of fun questions. Number 1, Sherry Blackberry wants to know, Bronte, how is the new puppy doing?
She is so good. She's in training classes, and I'm currently babysitting another German Shepherd. My puppies are German Shepherd, and this one is 110 pounds. So this one is having mad jealousy of the puppy, and the puppy's having mad jealousy of this one. And so they both have to be like separated on the house. So I've gotten all of my furniture to create dividers. It's quite the zoo over here in the DeQuisto house, let me tell you.
Really?
Good Lord.
Are you being paid for this?
No, it's for my friend. My friend's in the reserves. So they have to go away, and we get their big mother dog. Just huge.
And does it shed? A German Shepherd shed, right?
They do shed, yeah. So she shed. She jumped on me today, and her claws just ripped down my thigh, and it looks like I came in contact with the Wolverine. You should see my leg right now.
I don't like shedding.
This is why my puppy is in puppy classes. So that does not happen to, when she's full grown.
Well, 100%. Very serious question from Lisa D. Ginger Snaps, referencing back to earlier in the show. She would like to know, so Bronte, would you ever date Victor?
I don't know. I would think if I had seen this season, if I had watched it, I would think, I am in love with Victor. I want to date Victor. I'm going to tweet him until he notices me. For some reason, he's like, I feel like him and I are so much alike, and he would be this man that I want to marry. But we had no chemistry in that regard, and it kind of shocks me sometimes. Like, you would think I would have been head over heels with Victor. I don't know if Victor would have ever liked me, but we automatically had this brother-sister vibe to us. I don't know why. I would think that I would have been in love with Victor. So it blows my mind. But there was never like a flirtatious moment of like, ooh. And he probably, feels the same way about me. I really had more flirtatious moments with Paul.
Really?
I really did. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you watch a lot of the life leads, him and I were kind of touchy-feely. We cuddled a couple times. And then of course I don't think Paul likes me all that much. So I don't think these Big Brother boys, were like, let's wife Bronte up.
I'm going to call it now. I'm calling it now. And I know you're not going to believe this, but I'm calling it now. You and Paul are going to be best friends.
I cannot see it. I mean, He said that I belittle people as a defense mechanism to deal with my insecurities.
And he is going to grovel, and he is going to throw some of that t-shirt money at you, and he's going to convince you it was all for the game, and then you two are going to be best friends. You know why? Because I'm selfish, and I want to see a Bronte and Paul show.
I really did hit it off with Paul on my own level. Now, Paul doesn't feel the same way. That's okay. But I truly, I was laughing constantly. I thought he was the funniest person ever. Maybe it was just game talk. I would really never want to belittle anybody.
Right.
So that kind of did hurt my feelings. I'm not going to lie. Because I would hate for someone to think that I belittle them. It's just not nice to do that.
But if he apologized and sincerely meant it, then you think you would be able to get past it?
Oh, for sure. I'm not holding grudges, I am not. If someone apologizes, then accept it and move on. And he doesn't even need to apologize to me. It's fine. I'm not going to be mean to Paul or anything like that. But yeah, I would think I would have wanted to marry Victor. For some reason, just no chemistry. But there were,
I'm going to
say he's a good catch for somebody.
Oh, yeah, he is.
If I had a daughter, I'd be like,
Devin has the daughter. For other season. Here's what I want to say, Bronte. No. I have a feeling Paul is going to apologize to you sincerely, but here is what you need to do, Bronte, for all of us.
Okay.
I'm going to need you to start by crying. You have to fake it. Just go with me. And then you have to tell him, okay, I will accept your apology if you shave that dead animal off your face. Do it for America.
It was hard because I couldn't imagine him without that beard. And then when I got out and I saw the pictures of him without the beard, I was like, oh my gosh, like, he looks really good without his beard.
Yeah, I do like Paul without a beard. All right, I'm going to ask you this last question, which normally I like to end with the funny ones, but I thought that this was such a great question from Wesley Lester 11629 in the chat room. He wants to know, Bronte, what did being in the Big Brother house make you realize about yourself that maybe you didn't know before? So was there anything that you're taking away from your time in the Big Brother house, or just this experience that was like a positive thing that you are taking away from it?
I definitely think that I was a little more shy before, and I couldn't, it was one of those things. I feel like now when someone says they don't like me, I'm like, yeah, join the club. There's a lot of you out there. Whereas before, I probably would have been like, they don't like me. So yeah, I have a little tougher skin now. I'm like, you think I'm worthless? Okay.
If I don't know if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, but do you know who RuPaul is? She's a drag queen. And it's like a very good, funny show, whatever. But there were two things of advice that she has said that I've always used in life. And it is, number one, what other people think of me is none of my business.
That's good.
And number two, you should only take criticism from your peers, not people on social media and like in your own field. So like what people say on social media or comments, that doesn't really matter. Worry about what like your peers say. Those are the people that are important. But I love that you are walking away with a thicker skin.
Yes, I think that's something that all of us are going to walk away with. You have to have thick skin at some point to even being out of the house. It feels like I'm still playing the game. It's still it consumes my day, my friends. It's the constant conversation topic. My whole family, we're still involved. So it's not over till it's over, even for us pre-jury people. So yeah, you need to have thick skin, and I definitely developed that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it is a wonderful thing, but you know who you don't need thick skin from, Bronte? Your hundreds and thousands and millions of fans who love you so much, who have tuned in here tonight.
Thank you, guys.
To hear from you. So let's start with, where can they find you in case they don't know on social media, and the links will be below.
Yeah, so my Instagram is Bronte Ann, D as in dog, and that's 2 N's, N-N-E, Ann. And then, my Twitter is BBBronte18.
Yep.
And that's where you can find me.
Perfect. It is right here on the screen. I know a lot of people also want to know, I forget if I asked you this in the last show, are you getting, or do you have a P.O. box yet?
I need to set a P.O. box up. So I am moving soon, and not that far. I'm moving kind of one city to another. So I want to get a P.O. box that's kind of close to where I'll be soon. But yeah, I hope to get a P.O. box someday.
Least by Christmas, Bronte.
At least by Christmas. I'll probably get one right before I leave, or right when I come back from the finale, which is coming up.
Oh, yes, it is coming up. And then you're going to have finale party. Are you going to, I'm sure fans would want to know this because they might get to interact with you in person. Are you doing Rachel's party?
I hope so. I really hope so. It's after, so I'm not quite sure as far as like flights and all that stuff. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give everything I have in order to go, because she's so great for throwing that for us. It's like, it's such a privilege, and to not go would be devastating. So I hope to be there.
Right. Well, I will say, I don't know that it's necessarily Rachel throwing in, and I'm sure it's a little bit for money, but I know your fans would love to see you.
And I would love to see them. Are you going?
Oh no, I'm in New York. But if you ever come to New York, we'll have fun. We have the New York premiere parties here. And so, but I'm gonna give you full screen, Bronte. You have full screen.
Full screen.
What would you like to say to all of your fans watching?
I just want to say that I feel totally honored that you would want to listen to me talk for an hour and hear what I have to say. So thank you, and you make me feel special every day. Mwah.
Yay! Well, thank you so much, Bronte, for coming on and talking to us. The feeds are officially down. They've been down 4 noms. I purposely am letting you all leave early because I don't think it's long. It should only be like 30 minutes total. We can all watch the fallout from what we think is gonna be Victor and Paul blindside on the block. We will see you guys all later. Thank you so much, chat room, for tuning in. We'll see you guys all later. Bye, everybody.
Hey, just kidding. I love you.